So first thing is first, I will introduce you to my Blender's interface and settings. Here is the edit, the preference. This is my input settings. My emulate 3-button mouse is turned on because I use a tablet. And my navigation settings. Invert zoom direction, active, and zoom to mouse position. That's all I need for this class. Exit of it. The reason why I show this is because of the screencast key. This is it. So I use the Alt to look around, the Shift Alt to pan, and the Control Alt to zoom in and out. And this is my unit settings. Just move this slightly. Currently in metric unit system and in meters. Now that we are ready to go, first thing that we would like to do is to break down this project. We would like to build it right from the ground up. And to do so, let's leave the asset to generation at the moment. Let's focus on the foundation, which in this case will be the hull. Afterwards, we can build the assets, generate instances of the assets, thereafter decide how to place them in the hull to see how good these assets are. So first thing is first, let's create the hull. I'm going to create a 3x3 cube. Let's do this with the aid of Claude. So just type in this prompt and give it over to Claude. Yes, this is good enough. The next thing would like possibly this edge to spin while being extruded. So we'll probably just want to, spin extrude it at 45 degrees. All I need to do is just to double click on it to select it. If you cannot double click to select it, just click on it and shift click on the 4 edges. That's it. So let's tell Claude to spin extrude it at 45 degrees. This is the front view. Okay. So we will select this one instead because we want to do it like this. If I press Z and go to the render mode, this is what I see. I like it this way. You can see that there is space. So I would like to extrude this. So all we see is just a corner rather than this transparent part. So let's tell Claude to do exactly that. All right, it seems that Claude got confused just along the way. Yeah, we'll need to tell Claude to go just a step back and repeat the process. Perhaps it confused clean with just, one extrusion. We need multiple phase loops in order to make that corner very smooth rather than what it is right now. So instead of clean, let's use the word smooth for it so it can understand better what we are trying to achieve. This is a very fine result. This is what we're going for. See it? Detailed prompt produces detailed result and a very constrained result. It already has this edge loop selected for us. We can press F to close it. Now press E to extrude it all the way somewhere there. That'll be fine. And then I can now press X to reveal this corridor. So we want it to be something like this. So if I'm looking at it from this angle, you can see that this is pretty good for us. All right, so now that's done. Let's head over to generating the assets, the panels and the vents that we are going to use to fill up and close the walls. Hi, welcome back to the course. In the previous video, we created the hull. This is what we have. It looks decent for what we need. So we have just 4 paths, and we made them to be non-manifold by extruding them first and then cutting out the faces, the extruded faces. So right now we have, you know, openings where we can have the light rays to hit from. If I go to random view, this is what we get. And then I created, well, Claude helped create the 45-degree bend. And this is, so far, this is good. So without further ado, let's proceed to creating the wall panels. All right, let's start with the first one, the wall panel A. Go to your source file, drag and drop the reference by name, wall A detailed. Drop it into Claude. And then you can now post this prompt. Once that's done, just Shift Enter to add more details. Essentially, what we would like Claude to do is to create it step by step. We need this panel to be 1 by 1 meter, so it can take just 1 meter of the wall. Add here. It does not have to be quad only. The result now that we have is very good. It's reasonable for us to take this one and create instances of the same. Not necessarily a replica, but we are just going to, add simpler and more details just to make it different from this original. We can use this as it is. In fact, let's just do a little bit to the original model. So the first thing that I noticed that it's trying to get very close to the reference that we gave to it, and that includes some of the material attributes. I like the material just as it is, but if we go to the material and select the WP metal material, I'd like to increase the base color just slightly, because most of them, the sci-fi panels, are usually of brighter color, especially if they're white. They look very interesting, as opposed to very dark and green. That would be for something like a horror sci-fi. So I think this is good. And I don't like where the emissive material is assigned to. So I'll just select all of the faces and assign it to the primary material. Then I can now go into each of these, select some of the faces that would like. This is just based on preference. There is neither right or wrong here. You can just decide where you want the emissive material to appear. So I'll select this one too. Maybe, okay, first of all, assign it. So I want to assign it to the emissive material. I select the emissive material and then assign, so you can see what is going on. I would like to select this one too. Control plus to increase the selection. Go to emissive material and assign it. So this is what I have. I think I'm fine with this. So now that I have this, I can even create a variant of it. So right now I have my snapping tool currently set off. If I click on it, I go to increment. I don't want to click on absolute increment snap, because if it is, see what is going to happen. Let me just turn it on with Control Shift Tab, increment, and then if I want to now activate it, so Shift Tab, it's now activated. If I press G and X to move it, see what it's doing. It's doing it at absolute grid. For instance, if I should disable it and move it slightly away from the grid, see, watch what happens. So let me activate it once more. Grid, and see. Look at it. Snaps that 1 unit of the grid, but it's not absolute to the grid. But right now, if I go and click on absolute increment snap, see what it does instead. So let me press G and X. See, automatically it moves it absolutely to a grid unit. whenever you want to use this function, it depends on what result you're trying to achieve. So just make sure that you're paying attention to this when you have the increment snap target set on. All right, let me just go back. This is it, and I'll disable the snap so I can use control whenever I'm moving it. So this is the first one. Let's do a second one. I'll press Shift D and X and then snap. There we go. So right now we can see what the result looks like if we add more wall panels. So right now what I'm going to do is just simply to create, a variant of the original, something that is somewhat different from the original. So here we go. Yeah, something like this is good. We can even just raise these ones up just slightly. Let's see the difference. Yeah, they're different. Perhaps this ones. Okay, so just raise them up. Okay, let's remove that. Move it back to this. And then this. Okay, something like this. I'd like to just push these ones in a bit. Okay. Yeah, I like this. So let's duplicate this once more. And the third one. Perhaps just remove this one, this, and this. Let me see what it looks like. Okay, so it may not be a good idea. Okay, maybe in this case, I'll just leave these ones. Probably delete these ones. And what I'll do in this case is to create a triangle. Let's see, something like this. Here, I'll select this one. And then select this one. Duplicate, move it up, and press F to fill it. P selection to separate it. And then I can recalculate the normal. Finally, just move it down. Scale in the Z so I know that the three vertices are aligned in the Z. And then I'll insert and just raise it up slightly. Okay, so this is good. What I'll do now is to rotate these around. Since I have my cursor already at the midpoint of the object, I'll press the period key, 3D cursor, duplicate R constraint in the Z direction so I can move it 90. I'll do the exact same thing twice more. So to do that, I'll just press Shift R to repeat the last action. And this is what I got. This is very, very good for us. I think perhaps 3 is good. So let's just select all this, then active select this one, and then Control J. This is the wall panel. We'll call it 3. This, select everything, plus this, J, wall panel 2, and this is the prime. Active select the main object, Control J to okay, so it's just one object. All right, so this is good. Okay, so we have this, this, and this. Here are the wall panels. We are going to do the exact same thing for the flooring. To do that, we already have the wall panel collection set up. Now let's create a new collection. This will be for the floor panel. Let's do the same thing, floor panels. Just add the hyphen. Okay, we have even one more, a set of collection that we'll need to do. At this point, let's just go back again to the same collection and add it. So we'll just call this vents and details. So these are the 3 objects that we are going to have. Right now, we are done with the wall panel. In the next video, we are going to do the exact same thing for the floor panel. So see you in the next lesson.